perspectives. And Art has been in the business for how long now?
It's 15 years.
15 years. Yeah. And so we love what we do. Even before this, I was tutoring, so I really do love education. And ultimately, our goal is to open our own boarding school for boys in particular. So we're not, even when this takes off,
you're still going to be hands-on with it.
Hands-on. Because out of that love and working hard in it, it produced the need, it showed me the need for what we have, what we created as a solution here. So what we're going to do first, if you don't mind, if you can go ahead and open up your folders, and your folders you should have, the agenda is the orange sheet. So if you don't mind taking out the orange sheet, and then the sheet immediately behind it is also the PowerPoint. So if you want to take notes and you got some questions or something along that line, you can feel free to ask at that point. Write it down, and then we can talk from there. Also the agenda, and we're at the very first part of the agenda. We've already completed the introductions, and we're going to actually continue with the demonstration portion of the presentation.
Okay.
So here we are. You know the educator's life. You know, one where really student achievement largely depends on us. We have students from various walks of life, and some have it, some don't, some have different abilities, some learning styles, some have different money. Things of that nature all play a role. But as you can see, a lot of the times we wind up frustrated here and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then of course we get evaluated. So instead of me talking about the life, I'm gonna let someone else do the conversation for us real quick.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Making school successful. These days, teachers educate our students and must also complete many other teaching-related tasks. From discipline and case management to testing and data management, teachers carry out a variety of important tasks. In addition, teachers are at the front line of classroom and behavior management. They must maintain a safe classroom where students can learn while coordinating the help from staff and parents to discipline those who misbehave. Teachers also play important roles in student referrals for extra help, as they must observe student performance in order to refer them for any needed support from counselors or social workers. Teachers must complete response to intervention, special education, chronic disruptive student, and gifted workflows and document their efforts. Alongside these functions, the same teachers are expected to start and maintain healthy positive relationships between home and school. This is achieved through effective communication for a limited relation between
And much more. Right? Does this sound anywhere near familiar with what you have to do? Very familiar with what you have to do. If it sounds familiar, then I'm quite sure you've had those days where you felt really frustrated. Quite sure you've had those days where you wanted to take a mental health day. And so in order to address all of the things that we have to do and much more, what do? We typically and currently we put in that time. We stay late. We come early. We take it home with us on Saturdays, and we do it on Sunday. We're grading papers. We're making the phone calls. We're doing all of those things in addition to the time that we paid, over and above the 30-some odd hours, right? But then also we have some technology resources that are available for us, but they're usually not really about empowering the teacher. For the most part, it's about, hey, how can we fix the student? Make sure this is going to learning style. How can we get this test data back real quick? Those are things really student focused and a lot, and that's great, and it has its place. But then that doesn't take care of the things that lead up to what I call the stage of teaching. When you're in front of kids, you're on stage. You're doing, there's so much behind the scene that has to happen in order to be effective in the front, right? So with that said, a lot of times we just get so overwhelmed that we may not even get to be proficient in those areas of SST, differentiation. We do it, but maybe not at a proficient level because we're so overwhelmed by so much to do. So with that said, we decided to create a solution. This solution is called Teachers in Touch. And we are Innovative School Tools, and we created a solution called Teachers in Touch. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and play it, go ahead and get into the software. Again, we're now at the second portion of our agenda. So we're right on time with this.
Okay.
So we're going to log in here. And as you can see, it's a login. You can see how it is aligned to what, similar to what the Facebook type is, not that Excel spreadsheet type, infinite campus or what have you. it's really designed to be fairly user-friendly. So what we're going to do today is add a class, okay? And we're going to do this right here in front of you right now. We're going to add this class. We're going to build a class, and I'm going to call Ms. Mitchell. What's your class name?
Geometry.
Geometry. And so we're going to label it math.
Okay.
And this is 10th grade, correct?
Yes.
10th grade class. I'm going to put it as 9th just for the sake of the students that we have. Period what? Yeah, 4.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Mitchell, we're going to add students. And we're going to load the students just by clicking. As you can see, just by adding, we can just start adding students to the class. So then I'm going to type in some students in particular that I want to add to the class. And just quickly, we're adding those students. Do we want to add another class? Not at this moment, but we could, right?
Okay.
And as you can see, there's the class. Just that quickly, your class is set up.
And just to interject, that was a load from the school. So we have all the students loaded.
That's where we're talking about getting the data. We need the student information and already have it populated.
So you'll do that, and okay, keep going.
Okay, we'll do that. So let's go straight to the work page. This is where a lot of the time you will live as a teacher. We're going to take attendance, and yes, attendance. That means I know you have your own system, and right now we do not communicate directly with that system. However, that's one of the things in the future plan. But why take attendance in our software? And I'm just going to select a few things for them real quick. Why take attendance in our software? It's because we do so many things on your behalf. You know the saying, if you take one step, God will take two, right? Am I the only one that heard that one? I'm a little bit more like a Baptist person, so I need a little bit more call and response. So bear with me as I'm like, okay, since I'm maybe the only one that heard that one. That obviously, I'm not the only one. Good. Woo-hoo. Thank you. So the point is that that's what we want to do for you. We want to be your paraprofessional. We want to take care of those things for you. Because that kid is absent 3 and 4 times, I know in APS, there's a policy that you're supposed to do something at the 3rd absence or at the 4th absence, depending on the school or the district. You're supposed to call the parent at a point, right? You're supposed to write a social worker for referral at a point, right? You're supposed to even recommend them to the attendance committee that you may have, right? All of those things you have to remember. Well, guess what? We remember a lot of those things for you and populate it on a to-do for you, or some of it we actually do it for you. Okay. So we literally refer a kid to a counselor for you. Okay. So based on just your actions of taking attendance, we will send an email to the counselor and say, hey, this kid has missed X amount of days or is tardy X amount of days. Can you please meet with him? Without you even, we're doing that for you. That's where taking attendance and doing this work and everything that you do here has something like that in the background. We call it teacher intelligence. Okay. Because you know to do it, teachers know to do it, but that brand new teacher may not, right? Or someone who's not in our field doesn't know. And that's what makes it to where that 40 plus years of experience between us, that really plays a role into building that back end for us, okay? So let's play around with it. Okay. Student A is, I believe student A is, whose parent is student A? Let's see. You change student A to, I still got upstreamers out here. I was trying to do an email change here. Who's student B? We're going to choose student B, which is me, Hodge Womack, and we're going to send an email. We're going to do a behavior email, negative, some quick little messages. Can you see me? And I'm quickly showing you how some of these are canned messages. So just by clicking buttons, the message populates for you, so you don't have to type it all. And the more you can tell me, hey, I want these canned messages, we can do those for you, and they'll just populate for you. And just by selecting it, and now you send an email. Email was sent. We can literally do the same. I'm gonna give here's my phone. Are you student C, Mr. Williams? Or are you changing her now?
Yeah, I'm changing right now. Okay,
if you change her, then I may be able to get to. Did I add student C? Maybe I didn't even add student C. So I want to add student C so you can use my. Let me add a student. I want to add student C.
Go to student C at the bottom.
There it is at the bottom. There it is. Okay, good. I'm glad you saw it. So I'm gonna cancel out of this. Yes. Okay, so student C was at the bottom, huh? All right, let's go to student C. So student C here, I'm gonna call from my, right here, and this is, Mr. Williams, if you don't mind, can you give Ms. Mitchell your cell phone real quick, please? Here. We actually assign you the number.
Okay.
So this is not your personal number. Here, come get to it. Here. Oh, go ahead and answer. Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So now we're talking through the computer or over the Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna hang up now.
Okay.
And now that I made that call, I can actually talk about what did we discuss. So that way, it's just by clicking the button, I'm actually saying what happened. And I'm just gonna put testing in there. And now, save. So instead of having to call and then enter it into the database and call again and enter into database, or text and enter the database, or email and enter in the database, well, it's all done for you. Mm-hmm. You just literally did your contact of calling, and we did an email, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do student A in a few seconds. Can we do student A?
In a few seconds.
All right. So, well, let's say student A, and we want to refer the kid. Student A is a student that has some issues in class, and I want to do a quick behavior referral. I'm going to talk about what happened. I'm just going to type in W's. I want to say it's whatever the situation may be, the location, similar to any referral, right? Mm-hmm. Just different issues that may have occurred. I want to describe it even further. What did I do? I want to select 2 or 3 things if I want. But notice there, this is what separates us from other pieces of software, where most they want, what did you do? What have you done already to support this kid before you refer them to an administrator, right? Mm-hmm. So before you refer them to a counselor. Well, it actually shows you, this is what I did already. It pulls it. We just made this call, right? Student A made this call on October 29th, October 30th at 12:11. These are things that we're just doing now. And literally, it pulls it for us. So this goes along with the document, the referral to that administrator. So they'll know, oh, I see she referred them before. She did some RTI. She sent a letter home. She's contacted a parent in regards to the behavior. I've seen this. And if you assigned attention, that letter will show up here. Those types of things. A conference invitation will also show up here. We'll show you those different options that are already there. Update. And guess what? Send to the principal. Copy it if you want to the home. And now it's referring it right out to the principal. All from one platform, all from this very same screen. And there's more. And I'm
sent as an email.
And it's sent as an email.
If you want to,
but you were talking about positive behavior earlier. Mm-hmm. We can just quickly do positive behavior, improved this week. This, quickly enter it, and it's saved. Now, you said, where is it? It's in the cloud, yes, but we will show you when we get to reports, okay. So where you can really see what's going on here. But more importantly, which I'm quite sure here, we have student A, and we have 15 days left on this particular kid that we saying, what we say, provide peer assistance. And I'm going to just type in something real quick, save. How did I get him in there? Well, all kids start off at tier 1, right? Mm-hmm. Just regular tier 1. And we notice that this kid needs some behavior intervention. Mm-hmm. Or you may say academic, so I'm gonna cancel and go to academic intervention. Whichever. And we're talking about those things that you know you do, but how do you document that you move that kid up to the front? Mm-hmm. How do you document that there's a solid cue that you worked with on that kid, mm-hmm. that y'all agreed to in your RTI meeting? How do you document that you did that a solid cue? How did you document that you shortened the lesson for him? That lesson may have been 15 for the other kids, but he only had to do 10 of them. Mm-hmm. How do you document that? Mm-hmm. That's where we come in. So unlike Read 180, it has its own intervention. Yes, it does a great job. It's awesome. But it doesn't document what you do as a teacher in a classroom. The things that you have to do that makes you so overwhelmed. And that's where we come in. So we have we will choose writing for this. Oh well, let's do math. Math, we're saying that math updated is certain things are already populated. You see that student information is already populated. Teacher of the year is there as the name. You can add information. We can do the problem analysis, and I'm just going to type in things. And this is what you would have that conversation in your team meetings. You're updated. I'm going to say the areas of concern. Maybe it's computation. A lot of the times, so I'm going to hit update. All of these things are being saved. Now you choose your intervention. And whatever we don't have up here, you can type in other, and the box will pop up, and you can write it in for yourself, right? Okay, so just in case we didn't have them all there for you, you can select it and add more. Update. And now, since we didn't really have any previous incidents for them, it didn't pull it. But here, as you can see, we did make a call, academic negative call about his situation, right? And then now, all I have to do is start a monitoring plan. How long do you think we should do this? Let's do 1 week for right now. Usually it's 20 days, right? But some people do 10, but 20. But we'll just for the sake of this. Now notice where he is. Student C is now where?
In the high priority.
High priority, which means where are you gonna make sure you take care of that red, right? You're gonna make sure he's in that high priority and you deal with him.
Right.
So that's where we are right now to make sure that you're able to document. Well, let's say I did the monitoring. I did say what I said I was going to do. What I said I was going to leave class for assistance. I'm going to let him leave class for assistance. Did it work? Yes, it did. Outstanding. I'm just going to type in outstanding here. I can still type. But let's say this one here that we decided to do, adjust time for completion, we gave him more time. It still didn't complete it. So, did not work this time. Save. Now it's all here for you. So you want to see what happens. Where is that? Where is this all here for you? Where did it go? Well, that's where we come in here. And now, scroll down to, you can edit these if you like, but now this is where the data comes in. Out of 5 days, 1 time so far, it did not work, it was unsuccessful. The time monitored and with the comments. This is what you can print out. This is what you can email to and take to your meetings, or email it to the RTI specialist, or to your principal, or what have you. Or if you're in a parent-teacher conference, you walk in and say, oh,
Show
yes, this is what's going to happen. This is what it looks like. So you can literally, as this internet pulls, you literally be able to walk and you armed at the drop of a hat. You don't have to say, oh, let me go back to the trailer and get me a folder and pull up all my Post-it notes and all my notes. You don't have to do that any longer. Here it is. You need it? Let me go on my phone real quick and email it. Sent. And here's everything that we entered. JJJ, SSS, DDD, these I just typed in. Basically, here are the areas of concerns. Here are the interventions that we decided on. Then, reinforcement motivation. Here's the support of things that I've actually done, including what I just did. And then now, did it work or not? You don't have to remember did it work. You know, you may have done this 2 weeks ago. And don't let you be on a modified block at this AB day. Right. You know, like 3 days this time, twice or this time. Right. I skipped a day. Right. How you do? And then you're doing this for several kids over several classes, right? So it's all here for you. And then once you complete the 4 or 5 days, you have the option to choose: do you want to continue, or continue and mark the form complete and you're moving up, versus continue and staying on tier 2. Tier 3, go up, or I'm happy. The interventions worked. Great. He does. Now that we know this is what he takes, we'll do that, and when he's done, he can stay in tier 1. That's how it can come up and have those type of conversations for you. And that's where the information is, to where that's the housing. Outside of that, we don't take any other information from the school. So, in a nutshell, you're able to do all of those things and see your calls. So here's student A. We can drive down further and see what we've done with student A. Let me see. Did you changed it already for? Okay. So let's call student A real quick here. See if we got student A in here.
You said this does allow you to send text messages. I
You
think I
can-
saw a problem
yes,
like that.
you know what? I didn't send a text message. I'm sorry. Let me do that now. But let me do it right side. What's that called?